Champions 2019 Series 4 PUBG PC India LAN Finale powered by Lenovo and Intel. I'm Shade Slayer. Joining me is Apollonia and Foxtrot. I think our predictions still hold. Indian rivals as well as 9-year-olds continue their dance, but we have a new player in the mix now in contention, District 9. What do you think of that last match, Apollonia?
Well, the last match, the ones that did win was TEG. Before that, it was District 9. It's insane because all 7 games, we've had different teams get the chicken dinner. And all the scores on the scoreboard is so even, it can be anyone's game at this point. Hopefully, we get to see a team that gets a chicken dinner for the second time in this map 8.
Yep, but regardless, we've seen 9-year-olds and Indian rivals always make it to that top 5 position. Another squad that has always been there as well, Level 0
Level
Esports.
0, exactly.
Last time around, they again came third. That is their third position in 6 maps. So consistency is there. They're racking up the kills. They're getting the points, but not doing enough there to get to that top 1, top 2 position. So what do you think they're going to change things up? Which are the squads that will get a complete different approach here moving into this map on Miramar?
We saw Level 0 always coming, they're making it to top 3, but they're losing in top 3. That's the last 2 circles essentially. So I think maybe if they work on their position a little bit, make sure that they have those rotations come in at the right moment, they can get the better of the circle and possibly even, we might see a new chicken dinner come up from them.
Oh, all right, let's jump straight into map number 2, Miramar, as we already fight. Betra Yuta ends up getting knocked down. The rest of his teammates are nowhere close, so that is the scout down for District 9. Apollonia, what's happening on the map side?
So on the map, everybody's pretty dispersed. Unfortunately, for Crusaders, the last 2 games, they were the first team to be eliminated, but this time we can see a new strategy coming out from them. They are at the northwest side of the map. They're slowly taking their loot, and then they're going to make the rotation. I think it's a new game plan for them. Other than that, all the other teams...
Oh, does get a lot of damage in as well, but players in. He gets knocked down. Arch Monster coming through. Sadie Boy gets the cleanup, and District 9 is out. What was that, Foxtrot?
That was something else. That was straight up dominance. We're onto map 8 now, and that is exactly what we're seeing. District 9 is here to make sure that the presence is felt.
Yep, looking at the scorecard, it is Indian rivals sitting at 65 points now. The lead is growing, but it's not that great right now. It's still 5 points, 2 points the difference between second and third as well. 9-year-olds and Kryptonite. District 9 now 56 points, but they're getting nothing here from map number 8, Apollonia.
That's so unfortunate for them. The last game it was a chicken dinner, and this is first. They're the first to go out, but that's okay. There's still a few more games for them to try and come back. And right now, this is intense because we don't normally see fighting happening in phase 1. And this just happened really, really quick. District 9 probably didn't expect it. And what we don't usually see is all the teams dropping so close in the first phase. Usually they're more spread out, and then they start meeting each other in phase 2 and phase 3.
Yep. So I think this is pretty much the case where squads now know exactly the places where their opponents are dropping, and they have that information down to a point where they can either hit them during the drop itself, or they can cut them off on one of their rotates in towards the later zones. And that was pretty much District 9 there, eventually not even being able to get that initial head start. We've not seen early duels as early as that. We've seen at least players able to pick up a lot of weapons, get their armor up before we see that initial engages, but that really wasn't the case. District 9 pretty much end up getting caught with their pants down and now eliminated early on. There is a lot more room for some more of these squads to climb up on that leaderboard.
That is true, though. We'll have to accept that. That was a good track coming down from Global Esports there. It's a good start in this map. As we saw, they've got fans here, right here in the audience. They want them to perform, and looks like they're in for it.
Indeed, as Sadie going for an aggressive peek across, does get tagged down to about 19 HP. Wheezy is not looking for the scout around. They're at La Bendita, the southern side, and I think they've pretty much got the entire place to themselves and just clearing out any sort of squads that might be creeping up on them.
Yeah, if we're going to take a look at the map, we never usually see the team so close together in phase 1. And we do see Crusaders, they have a change of strategy. They were the furthest away, and now all of them have vehicles, and they're rotating right into the play area. So I really like that coming out of Crusaders. They may be at the bottom, but they're still thinking of ways to come back. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to, play this particular game.
Yep, GE, despite getting a lot of kills on the scorecard early on, they're sitting on 4 kills, not more than 9 minutes in. But again, this has been the story with them every single game. They get the initial kills, but they also lose bodies, which is why you see them in 9th position. Talking about squads like TEG, Level 0, 4F, they've got those 1 or 2 wins in each, but they've not really been able to get much more from the rest of the games. But here with D9 down, that is positions 4, maybe even 5, 6, seeing a shift after this game.
Exactly. So, it's very close, and basically, any team now that gets a chicken dinner, they're going to shoot right up, and they're going to gain a substantial lead. But they also have to take into account that kills are extremely important. I'm very glad to see that GE this game, they're off to a great start. The last game, it was tough for them because they were caught, in the middle of 4 teams.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel that it's a lot more flexible because they only have 9 kills that north of them, and the rest of the teams are south of them.
Yeah, but unfortunately, again, Wade's Gaming and Roy, it did come at a price there.
Yeah.
Them losing 2 players out, and again, back on the back foot, but they came in with the right mindset.
Yes.
The idea was, you need those kills. Position points alone, even just getting chicken dinners out. Last time as well, they came in position, but guess what? They had only the 2 kills in, so not really much in terms of total points secured. Axel, smoke is down, but he will eventually end up running out of ammo. Quick reload back out. 6x on the mini, but he knows there's not one, maybe more than a couple there, as doesn't really want to keep peeking that angle too long now, does he, Foxtrot?
That is true, though. In a map like Miramar, you don't want to. There's so many angles you can get taken out, but he knocks one more, and that's Madara out, or maybe he's just confirming the kill.
Yeah, he does eventually manage to get something done with those Flicker Crocs, and Hydroflick, in fact, sitting up on top of the roof. They were all peering down at that angle, and that should eventually discourage that fight from ever happening, and I do expect their opponents to slowly move away from that hill right there, Apollonia.
Exactly. Not every game that has been played has had a very different style. This is the first time we're seeing all teams in the play area by phase 2. Usually all teams come together in phase 3 or phase 4. Like they're always, trying to run and not get caught in the storm. But for this game, everybody is safe. And I think we're going to see clashes very, very early this time.
Indeed, as if we can actually switch over to Crusaders, it's a squad that I did expect to do pretty well initially as well when I did have a chat with Danny S. But oh, easy partner, 6 HP gets tagged low, is making us rotate across. There was cold blood, in fact, inside the building, but it's going to be pretty much fine for now. Hydroflick again continues to look for action.
He's just trying to find any players who are trying to loot from the care package there. He's just making sure that if anybody gets a little more greedy, a little too much, he can take a kill out of them.
Exactly, Indian rivals, they're right at the top of the leaderboard, and they do show a lot of experience and patience. Every game, they rotate nicely, and as well as they scout out the areas. They're always watching every single angle to make sure that they don't get backstabbed. They also, if they lose players, they sneakily come into the play area, and their goal is to always get a good placing every match.
Yep, and level 0 now, Deaththrill and team. This is a squad again that has been performing pretty consistently.
Yeah.
They've been getting the kills, but unfortunately, like I said before, they haven't really been able to get to that top one position, which is why you see them right now in 6th position. 52 points, just about 13 points away, which is nothing more than, I'd say, a 6-skill chicken dinner. But that double dinner is elusive. Level 0 is yet to pick one up. Maybe this is their time to shine.
Maybe they could. I mean, we haven't seen one team win a chicken dinner consecutively, or more than that, even once. So that is something that the teams will have to step up eventually, because at this point, the skill level is so saturated.
Wow.
As Deaththrill, I think he has an idea that KT might be up to something right there. Speaking towards a pretty similar angle, TX is holding a compound about 500 meters away towards where Deathwill's currently running to. And if TX is probably looking up from below, there could be some signs of trouble, Apollonia.
I'd like to just let everybody have a look at the map. And this is really, really interesting. You know, everybody has vehicles. Now, this is the Miramar map. You know, there's a lot of terrain.
Drill goes for the peak across two players coming up on top of the hill. That is in fact 9-year-olds that are probably now thinking, hey, is this an early fight we want to take? Deathrill already running back. He's got no backup through though. And Guardian peeking across. He's looking at KT. So level 0. They're pretty much taking two separate fights there. Deathrill was probably going in for the flank, but then realized 9-year-olds were at the cusp there of probably getting one isolated kill of level 0. That would have been a big problem moving ahead, losing one of their key players in. What's happening on your screen, Death?
DG is picking up a fight. They're trying to find cover though, but that terrain is just not helping them. Trying to make their way uphill, but I don't think they'll survive that long.
And looks like Indian rivals do find themselves a knock as well. I believe that is not onto GE, but one of the other players, I believe iFlix, does in fact have an idea of where GE might be playing from. They're holding a couple of different compounds. In fact, one of the players staying outside, Coldzera, is holding a small window, Pixel peeking across, and TEG on the far side. I see a drop going down as well. Something that we haven't touched upon in the previous matches is these airdrops. Squads, I've seen in AWM a couple of times, but I think that was pretty much it. Most of the squads have been playing it a lot more safe, haven't really taken that gamble of going down and trying to pick some of that tier A loot.
Exactly, you know, there is one drop, and we can see that level 0 is going to attempt to try and, ooh, Wheezy. He is going for that loot. And I think this is actually the first time we see a team going for a drop. And I hope, you know, this is going to benefit level 0, and this can take them forward in the competition as well.
Indeed, and we've talked about the importance of having that AWM as well. Sniper rifles and DMRs are the go-to weapons on Miramar. There's a lot of terrain, there's a lot of open ground, there's a lot of ridges, and you always have that massive advantage long range if you have one of those two weapons in your arsenal. And I think it is a gamble that squads are willing to take. Level 0 taking in some shots. What's happening, Foxtrot?
Level 0 has just grabbed the drop, and they're heading on with 3 armor, 3 backpack. Everything on level 3. They're back for this fight. They want to make sure that they survive more than those last 2 rounds.
And moving back over to another squad, Tantrum X Esports. Again, a squad that was started with a lot of talent in the back. Justfire, I've seen this guy absolutely explode into the soul with multiple kills, almost single-handedly winning a lot of matches for this squad. But right now, sitting at 0 kills in. But they're making their way in, and already shots being fired. I think they're going up against 9-year-olds straight up ahead, and this is a fight happening soon. There you go, Google X God, backsturn, Rocky goes to the spray, but it's off target with the M4. Does have the war grip, but it's still too far away. Pulls out the Kar 98. Would have been my first weapon of choice, but we know 9-year-olds, they don't go down with a fight. Foxtrot.
Exactly, we see Accelerator trying to make sure that there's no flanks coming up. What he doesn't know that they have already passed through him. He did not notice that. So now I think TDX is in a better position to get that. But no, TG, yes, he does drop a kill though. That's an excellent. That's a good kill, but that's on Indian rivals.
Yep, Indian rivals, they do lose one of the players. They were deciding to, in fact, rotate out of that fight entirely. Last second run up to the vehicles, and iFlix and Hydroflick barely managed to get out of dodge, join up with Coldzera, and they've lost their IGL, but they've still got a lot of fragging power and a good shot at continuing to keep that lead. Apollonia.
Exactly, you know, Indian rivals, throughout the whole tournament, they're really good with their rotations. And now, you know, they're looking for some form of high ground. Like we know that in Miramar, if you can get that high ground, it's going to be really advantageous for you. You know, this map is primarily, you play with long range. You want to try and get those snipes and everything with that distance. And we see a whole lot of shots being fired. Level 0 is looking for some opportunity. They are targeting TTX at the moment.
Yep. And that's a long shot there. They're trying to get the first out. Wheezy attack 1, 2, 3. There's one more, but that should be kill secured. Does leave himself exposed for a second too long, and that does result in Guardian going down, but the wall of smokes coming out should keep them safe. Moving on over, iFlix also taking up some shots up against CRS, a squad that didn't really make it past the bottom half for almost 3/4 of the matches here yesterday as well as today. But here they find themselves in a top 7 situation, 23 players alive, 19 minutes in. This may be the map where they redeem themselves.
Wow, and I do see a drop is near 9-year-old, so that is going to be great for them. But Indian Rivals, they're trying to look for a way to get into the safe zone, but it looks like TEG is kind of it camping, and Hydrotech is looking for some sort of opportunity.
Yeah, he sees Aurum, just a small peek there off the helmet, but the taps just a little too long, and unfortunately, there's a very small window there. He's pretty much trying to pierce the needle eye, and at that point of time, yep. Last time, they were, of course, caught out to the blue zone itself. It did push in, eventually taking out IR this time. Find themselves again in a similar situation, but this has been the strat that has worked out for them thus far. They just stay away from fights. They want to stay away from any sort of engagements that's going to eventually end up them forced into an all-out battle, whether it's a do or die, and they get themselves into the top 4. That is when they eventually try and close things out, and which is why you see them up on top of that scorecard, 65 points. That has been mostly grinding round after round, second places, third places, when you're not able to make that victory work. And with that, I think 9-year-olds this time around, they're gonna have to have a lot of ground to catch up on.
Exactly. You know, this is amazing because Indian Rivals managed to sneak their way into the play area without TEG catching them. They still are looking behind them, watching their back.
Ooh, and shots fired there from iFlix. I think TEG are starting to rotate across as well. They are right now holding that common that's just about at the edge of the zone. They've got their hands full as well. They're taking shots at a lot of other squads, and easily gets spotted from CRS. Couple of taps away. This is IR's problem right now. They have a lot of eyes on them around. Oh, there's easily CRS that can third party them. TG can as well. 9-year-olds are not too far away either. How are they going to approach this?
9-year-olds are exchanging shots with TG already. At this moment, it's TG versus the 2. And then it comes to a
Hydra flick there with the long range assassinate with the mini. Finds the first knock, but the terrain again. You're not peeking in 100% committed, so you're always going to be able to fall back and get the heals out, get the smokes out, and you're always going to get back in your member back into that fight.
Indian Rivals, they managed to get a knock on Crusaders, and I'm pretty shocked that Crusaders, you know, they've got a new game plan and they're this far into the game, but there are more kills.
And look at that, 9-year-old, in fact. I'm a ghostly boy.
Wow.
11 kills, godlike amount of damage done, and we did see that astronomical clutch coming out earlier, that 1v3 tap, 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 tap with the DMR, but here he's got himself a lot more work cut out. 5 points behind, 2 kills on the board. They need that chicken dinner under their belt.
Exactly. Now we just saw how ahead Indian Rivals sits on top of them. So if they want to convert this, they're gonna have to make sure that they take Indian Rivals down in the end. Doesn't look like it.
Indeed, indeed. As a look at level 0, what's happening with these guys? 1 kill on the board. The idea there is to keep all players up. They need a lot more kills to go, and which is why you see them take that aggressive stance, try and find it. Looking at that scorecard, 6th position, 52 points. Just getting 2nd, 3rd, 4th position with no kills is not going to help them. They've got a long way to go, and they need to find those kills. They need to make it happen.
I think level 0 is in a great position right now, according to the terrain. You know, they do have that high ground, and they can continually look for opportunities. They're also in the play area.
Look over there. In fact, Rocky YG on the other side is with the Car 98 is looking for some aggressive picks. Just fire as well. Surrounded up by a couple of squads, taking in those shots, but nothing coming off it just yet. Foxtrot.
They did get a knockout of GE though, but they just caught him off
Moving
guard.
over to the other side. Weezy, the players moving out in the open. CRS is in some trouble. The first man going down, and the entirety of level 0 looking away. Will settle down. Daniel's squad can't do anything about that. Gunblade ends up going down, but TTX, they just around the other side of the corner, and Weezy scopes in for a split second. There scopes back out, knows there's trouble coming his way. The rest of his teammates also zeroing in. There is a nice small ridge to hold there, pretty much preventing that full-on commit from coming through. But Dan, yes, he's been spotted as well. He's eventually going to have to turn on the smoke. It's just a game. It's just the M4. But there's tag coming out. Oh no! Guardian there at the end does find it, in fact, for level 0. And meanwhile, 9-year-olds are also making things happen. Killua goes down.
Exactly, this is what we're talking about. Level 0, they're in great spot. And now they're trying to take down all of the 9-year-olds getting kills on Indian rival, Foxtrot.
That's exactly what we are seeing here. They did get a few picks off, a few downs as well. But it looks like they're not able to convert against the double party that is going
They
on
find
over here.
themselves a small ridge here, and there is a res coming out. And Ghostly Boy does end up going down cable. As just about by the time that TX also have takes up down with Accelerate. Ooh, down low, but not out just yet. Does have time for the heals, and you look at the angle that they're holding. They're doing the llama trick their way. You're still trying to climb up the hill. You don't really want to leave yourself exposed, but that does buy them significant time in case one of them ends up going down. And Cable up ahead, Accelerate is also going to come in through, and Google X God does get the flush out onto, I believe, Justfire, as well as Rocky YT. Couple more kills in the back, 9 kills for 9-year-olds. That's the way you reply when you go 5 points behind, and there's only 3 more maps to go.
This is amazing. You know, we only have 5 teams left. It's 25 minutes into the game. And for the first time to see Crusaders, they have made it halfway. Usually Crusaders, you know, they haven't had much of a good run, but now they only
Look back over, Guardian peeks out. There's one from 9-year-olds above, and we pretty much had one late. This charge across 9-year-olds, 10 kills in the bag. They're not done just yet. They're going to continue rolling with the punches, and looks like level 0. They've got themselves pinned in here. 9-year-olds want to make their way down the hill. Captain Pons, unfortunately, has 4 people looking his way, and Guardian can get some job done. 2 shots across, but again, he's going to have to go back into cover as well. I love this play from 9-year-olds. They have 4 players there covering each other's back, all of them looking across, and team tagging around. CKB, there you go. Cable goes down, and that should be Guardian able to burst them out. And look like 9-year-olds have gotten themselves into a lot of troubles. Second player down as well. I'm a Ghostly Boy. What's happening there?
Ghostly Boy just got a knock, almost a knockout on the opponent though, but he's getting pressured, and there you go. He goes
Captain
down.
Pons moving over. Tabs is gonna see barely the player moving in to the smoke there as Accelerate just about makes his way in, and that does give time for the res to come across. They're gonna be 2-man strong. They should be able to get the heals off as well, but that's already a lot of utility committed just to get out of trouble here. Now, how are they going to be able to survive in that open area, Apollonia?
Wow, level 0. Crusaders, you know, we can see Crusaders. They made it into the play area. I'm actually really shocked by this, and I think now they're looking
We
at-
see.
Oh, level 0.
2 shots, finds him inside, and he's not done just yet. There's another player there, infected as well, but he's not inside with the wall. He's trying to blow that up. Look at that, he's gonna blow that up, and with that, he's gonna secure the kill there onto easy partner as level 0, 4 kills in the bag, still 4 strong, and this might just be their best chance of picking off that chicken dinner.
I think this is. Are we actually going to see level 0 with with that chicken dinner? That's going to be new for us. You know, it's really living up.
And that kind of goes with the trend as well, right?
Yeah.
If we've done it so far, why would we do it again? But Wheezy gets peeked across. across and not really ready with that trigger finger. Ends up going down. KT is on one side as well. Smoke's being dropped as Detril now is going to keep his eyes peeled at 9-year-olds. Looking to see if he can find an opening. He does! Accelerators down. 9-year-olds make their way out in position 4. Wonderfully done, and that does give the opportunity for Detril to go across for that res. 3 teams, 7 alive. Who's gonna take it?
Meanwhile, Kryptonite is getting shot at from level 0 and looks like they want to eliminate them.
Oh, they're pushing
as soon
across.
as they
Captain
can.
Pons as well. Faster player out. The heads peek in. 2 players jiggle across. Will he be able to find this? They blame this perfectly, are trying to bait Captain Pons out in the open to take the fight, but he hasn't. He's just buying time. Look at Guardian. He knows exactly where they are. Nade across. Not good enough, but I think that is going to give away his position at the end. Level 0. Patience right now. KT, these guys are sitting in 3rd position right now. They've got all the reason to not want to take the fight and go out in second. Oh, it's pretty much down to a 1v1 now already. That 4v2, and that does pretty much mean now level 0. They're gonna feel confident, but they're split. Do you really want to commit with the 2 players here and give away a possible easy chance of taking the victory, or do you buy time? There is 2 players keeping them pinned. Guardian ends up going down. He has an angle onto this. Goes to spray. 2 players looking across. 1 quick spray across. Doesn't get it. Goes for the second attempt. Nice damage done. Sitting at about 10 HP, but he's got to move back into cover. There's the teammates coming through. As well. Where's the teammates? And there you go. The chicken dinner comes across. Level 0. Do take the win, but that pretty much did come down at the end to all 4 players committing in. If the 2 players initially had gone in for that full-blown duel and they end up going down, then pretty much that is game down. 2v2, confidence would have been pretty low in the level 0 department, but again, look at that scorecard. A new winner yet again. Level 0 esports didn't really want to feel left behind. They say, you know what? They say, this is their turn.
It's time for them to shine,
This is their
basically.
turn. This is their turn. They've got this, and you look at them on the score there on the screen. In fact, there's
9
a
kills.
lot of there's no celebration. There's no premature
Exactly.
celebration. No, the job is not done just yet. We still got 2 maps to go before we do find out who is going to be your champion, who will represent India at the APAC finals in Bangkok. Besides that, there is 10 lakh INR on the line. 2.5 lakh INR for first place. That's a lot of money,
That's a
Apollonia.
lot of money, especially, you know, now esports is growing steadily in India. This is
Yeah.
a great opportunity for these teams over here. And, you know, looking at how hard they are playing and how much they really want this, the spirit of this competition is amazing, as well as the prize pool.
Indeed it is, and with that, the teams are all pumped up. Who's going to take it? It is pretty much anybody's game right now. We're going to take a quick break. We will be back shortly. 2 more maps down the stretch. It will be Erangel and Miramar to decide who will be your champion here at Legion of Champions here from Comic-Con Bengaluru, the India LAN finale powered by Lenovo and Intel. I'm Shade Slayer. Joining me is, of course, Apollonia as well as Foxtrot. 5 p.m. is when we will go live with Map 9 on Erangel. So you do have a bit of a break. You can probably even time to get a couple of PUBG games in, get the
Yeah.
feel up, get the energy going,
Why not?
get maybe a drink, get some food as well, get some popcorn, because things are just about getting heated. See you folks soon.